So let's turn to another grim topic. We're coming up on the 2-year anniversary of the war in Ukraine, February 24. Uh, Give us your assessment, Ms. Secretary, of the war after 2 years and where you think Ukraine stands against the Russian invaders.
As so often has happened in Russian history, their military performance at the outset was very bad. And over time, they have recovered. They have suffered enormous losses, 315,000 or so killed and wounded, half to two-thirds of the tank force that they had before the invasion and armor and so on. So they've had enormous losses. But that characteristic of the Russians also over history. And meanwhile, they have got their defense industries back up and running. They have and producing a lot of stuff. They're getting a lot of drones from Iran, building a facility with Iranian help inside Russia to build drones, getting ammunition from North Korea for artillery and so on. And, a lot of people are referring to the war at this point as a stalemate. I'm afraid I believe that at this point, it's actually not so much a stalemate, but that the Russians have regained momentum. It's not breakthrough kind of momentum, but it is the sense that they are now the ones pressing the offensive. The loss of Avdiivka was important. It's not, it creates an opportunity for the Russians to move the lines further to the east. Um, and everything I'm reading is that the Russians are sort of on the offensive all along at various different places along that 600-mile frontier. And they have more and more supplies coming in. I've read that for every artillery shell that the Ukrainians fire, the Russians are firing 10. And so the Ukrainians now are facing this shortage of ammunition, artillery. They're facing shortages when it comes to air defense and so on. So I think that the Russians are feeling that the tide has turned, and that while there's still a lot fighting to be done, that the initiative has passed to them. And the question, of course, is uh, what is to be done about that? The Europeans, who we so often criticize, have come through with some $55 billion in economic assistance for Ukraine, a real lifeline for the Ukrainian government. The European governments have pledged a lot of military support for the Ukrainians, have signed security agreements. Both the French and the Germans have signed security agreements with the Ukrainian government. The problem is the Europeans just don't have much in their stockpiles, and they say they're going to do more and produce more, increase the production of these weapons and ammunition and so on, but that won't appear on the battlefield until 2025 or perhaps even beyond. So while the Europeans have extended an economic lifeline to the Ukrainians, uh, the only real military lifeline is the one from the United States. And as we all know, that one is, shall we say, on pause right now.